This is your use of theory video lecture. So first we're going to review the 4 frameworks we discussed during the selecting an approach. Please note again, these are not your theories, but I believe that thinking about what framework you are working within will help us in guiding your theoretical or conceptual framework. These terms can be, but are not expected to be covered within your theoretical or conceptual framework. Again, they're a guide for this section and for you thinking about your literature. So first one again is the post-positivist, which is looking to determine the effects and or outcomes and what might have caused or impacted this outcome. Again, quantitative. Constructivist is seeking to understand the world the individual lives in, the perspectives and views. Again, this is qualitative and looking at the meaning of the person who you're studying. Transformative is becoming more popular within the social science research, specifically when looking at cultural variables, underserved communities, the intersectionality of culture, etc. Similar to post-positivist, but remember this framework speaks to the lack of cultural sensitivity and the justice that some believe post-positivists had, or the injustice, sorry. And finally, pragmatic is the looking at the application in the real world, right? What will actually work in the real world. Determining what theories have been used in your literature search and what your theoretical perspective might be, right? So how do you do that? It may be difficult at times to truly understand what theories the authors you are reading used, and we'll support this understanding as we work together, but specifically around that literature scan exercise is really important to kind of help to guide this process. Again, the development of your theory is not as simple as stating my theory is blank, right? The theory of attribution. So we're going to go over kind of quantitative proposals and qualitative proposals. Quantitative theories, right? Again, when you're using quantitative proposals, you're looking at a theoretical perspective. This provides an explanation or prediction about the relationship among variables. At times, these are explicitly stated. For example, the use of social cognitive theory does X, right? Other time, the author implies the theory through their variables, such as using their hypothesis to show their theory. Other times, the author may diagram their theory. You'll see this in different articles as figures. For quantitative, either way, we are looking at how the variables for the study will prove or disprove the theory. The variables, in essence, tell the story. For quantitative also, we typically will see an author discuss their theory in one of 3 ways: through a hypothesis, or an if-then statement, or through a diagram. Page 14 in Creswell gives you a good idea to begin writing this section. Again, this is in section 1 of your paper, of your proposal. So we're going to examine prior studies, understand what has been studied within your topic, understand the variables that have been used. Sorry, I should be on this slide. Script out, right? Creswell gives you a good example of how to script out. I also suggest thinking about your framework, so post-positivist, transformative, or pragmatic when quantitative. When you're looking at qualitative, again, the qualitatives are conceptual frameworks, right? This provides a broad explanation. For qualitative proposals, this will begin to make more sense when we get into the various qualitative methodologies. But in short, for qualitative studies, we are looking for the theory or the conceptual framework, to 1, explain the concept we are looking to further understand. To begin writing this section, we should also begin to examine prior studies to understand what has been used within your topic. Think about what you intend to learn about a group or idea that we know little about. Once you learn about the various methodologies, case study, ethnography, phenomenological, etc., we begin to bring that into your development of your conceptual framework. Again, we're going to script out, and I suggest thinking about your framework again, so constructivist, transformative, or pragmatic when using qualitative. As we discussed before, we are purposefully skipping the mixed methodology theory discussion. I presume and suggest the majority of you will be sticking to quantitative or qualitative. And again, if there is anyone who wants to make the case for mixed methods research, we can discuss and provide support. We'll be having some modules on this, but we want to limit the amount of information provided so that we ensure you get a really good start with limited confusion. And that was a really short and basic video lecture. But again, please let us know during your Flipgrid if you have very specific questions. But the theory and conceptual framework will be something that we'll have to work through a lot in class from our experience. So we don't want to add too much confusion via a video. And also your literature scan exercise is going to help provide some guidance